What's good, guys? It's me, Jenny Prinsenberg. I'm here to bring you a little guide in order to improve your Oxide Station in Crash Team Racing 1999 edition. Recently, CTR Online was released, right? And a lot of friends of mine came up to me and were like, "Bro, this game is amazing! Like, what the fuck? What's happening here?" And then they play like certain tracks, like Oxide Station, one of the more complicated tracks in the game, and they're like, bro, like these people are like outpacing me by minutes. What is happening here? And that's what I'm about to show you today. So we are going to learn the two most essential skips on Oxide Station that you can implement with a little bit of practice in your online races. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. So the regular route that you would go through on Oxide Station goes like this, right? There's no intended skips on the track. The developers didn't intend for any of what I'm about to show you for today. So yeah, going through the track normally, we can see, just try not to crash anything, try to do your mini turbos, try to get your reserves up, go through this like very weird out of space section with low gravity and whatnot. And then, yeah, we're about to hit the finish line. You see our lap is well above a minute and 7. I think it's gonna be at, yeah, a minute and 7. And that's pretty slow if you ask me, because these people are hitting like 2 minute 10-second times or whatever in these online races. So what's happening here? Well, guys, I'm about to show you with this video, starting right here, Oxide Station. The second skip is probably the one that you might be learning first because it's a lot easier. There's a first skip as well that we are skipping over here. I'm going to show you later because the second skip is much more efficient, much more easy, much more like easy going to learn. So what you want to do here is, right, you see this section, there's a little ramp in front of us that, like right here, that leads to this outer space section with the low gravity and whatnot. But it's not intended to be a ramp, but it looks like one, so we can use it as one. So what we do here is we want to align ourselves in a way that we can go to the left because we want to jump off this ramp to the left. Not go to the peak of the ramp, but a little bit before the peak. Because when you're at the peak, I think it might be a little bit too late. So aim to jump around here, right? Use this thing here, this gray thing on the track, maybe as orientation marker. And then jump around here. And yeah, this is the first skip. So let's see. Most people probably used to this. So even as a child, I think I discovered this on my own. And yeah, it's a 53-second lap here, right? 53 seconds, not too shabby. We shoved off like 14 seconds already, so that's great. How can we go even further? There are people who drive 2 minute and 10-second times on these online races. What's happening, right? So there's another skip to this track that I'm about to show you right now. It's a little more complicated here because these walls are not really walls in some spots, right? So we drive up to this very specific wall right here. We are looking at this spot here. And it becomes more visible the further we approach. But from this point on here, right, we do 2 mini turbos, take the first turbo pad, 2 mini turbos, first turbo pad. We are fast enough to drive up the wall, as crazy as that sounds, because in this spot, it's not really a wall, but more like a very weird ramp. So let's see. So what I do is I aim at this spot here, right? So this line marks the barrier. Like from this section here, definitely hard-coded wall. You can't get on there. But from this point on, up until like here, you can use this wall as a little bit of a ramp. So you want to slide into it, not turbo boost, but just slide into it, right? And then we are on the wall. Now from here on out, it gets more complicated because getting onto the wall, that happens every once in a while. Can't even happen casually. From here on out, it gets a little bit more complicated. So we want to drive off of the wall. Make sure to not hit this very object here, this huge pot kind of thing. Bro, it has collision. I don't know why, because you're not supposed to be here, but it has collision. So that is pretty wonky because if you hit it, no matter which angle, you will fall down into the abyss and the mask will take you right back here, right? Okay, so we fall down in between the jump at the track that we just jumped off of and this pot kind of thing that weirdly has collision. Now we drive back. Why do we do this? Nice that you ask. We drive back because the part of the track that we want to jump on hasn't been loaded in the first place. So we'd land right around this area here, right? Everything behind this turbo pad is fine. If you are further ahead and like cross the turbo pad, land onto it or whatever, the skip becomes a little more complicated and a little worse. So you want to land as far back as possible, right? So we land well behind the turbo pad, which is exactly what we want to do, because somewhere around this area there is the line that determines which part of the track is preloaded at the moment. So the part that is preloaded at the moment, if we land here, is the part that we want to jump on. If we end up here, like on the turbo pad or behind the turbo pad, that's bad news, because this part of the track that we want to jump onto is not loaded yet, meaning the mask will take us back to the very beginning of the track where we started to do the skip, right? Bad news. So we want to land right here. And we want to go around the corners here a little bit, try to, you know, adjust your cornering, be good at the game, and then we want to aim at this very spot again, right? This line here, like between this line of the yellow section and this line of the brown section here, this is like this is the sweet spot. This is where we want to go. So it's the very same spot that we jumped onto in the beginning, as you can see by the collision having pod object in the back. And now, just to go a little bit back here, we want to land here. Turn to the right, not too far. Don't readjust too far because you have a lot of speed. And land on the railing here, and then jump a little bit on the railing, and then jump off of the railing right onto this part of the track down here. So, and then you want to do a U-turn mid-air. U-turn being, you want to hit the square button on your PlayStation controller. For me, it's like a Super Nintendo type controller thing, but same. You want to hit the square button and then down right. The diagonal down right. This is what you want to hit in order to turn mid-air as quickly as possible. This is what we do. We land here, and now let's see how much time we saved over the normal route, right? We landed here at around, I think, 19 seconds, 18 seconds, kind of like that. 18 and a half, 19. Let's say 19, right? 19 seconds are our marker here. Waiting for the other guys to arrive. We have one ghost of mine that drives the normal route, and then Oxide. So the ghost of mine that drives the normal route arrives here at around 31 seconds. So we saved so much time, even more so over Oxide, right? So this is the first skip, like the first major skip in the track. The second one I already showed you guys, right? So what happens if we combine both of them? Because at this point we save more than 10 seconds. So let's see what happens if we combine both of these skips. I'm about to show you right now. So we do everything as per usual. Do 2 mini turbos, hit the turbo pad, having enough speed to get onto the wall, right? It was a little bit further behind, but that's good because we land further behind as well. So now we go around the corner here, as I already showed you. Then we aim at this very same spot again, jump just to the right a little bit, do U-turn here, and then use this ramp kind of thing. And now we landed here at around 22, 21 seconds, 21 and a half, 22 seconds, kind of like that, right? So now we can lean back in our chair and wait for the other racers to arrive. 22 seconds, all right. So what we're saying is that we are already 20 seconds ahead of them, right? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and there he goes. That was 26 seconds. Let it be 25, but that's how much we saved over the normal route, right? At this point, we could have arrived at the finish line already. This is how much you skip here. So that's actually bonkers. So yeah, there goes Oxide. And yeah, now the first part of the skip is really what gives you headaches, right? Because we saw it, it's very finicky. You gotta hit the specific part of the wall, then you gotta readjust your card and whatnot all the time. It's very prone to mess ups. So what do we do if we mess up? We have backups. So let's go. As for the potential mess ups that could happen, right? There is a couple of things that could happen. Mostly, I think most of them are revolving around hitting this pod kind of thing that has collision for no reason. So when it happens like this, and then you hit it because you overshot the wall, right? And then land on it, or you drive off the wall and then jump for some reason, and then this happens. Sometimes you panic. You can also just hit the wall. Very bad. And now let's see how you can back this up. So we messed it up. Oh my god, we hit the pot thing again, landed into the abyss, or inside the abyss. And now I have a little bit of a bad turn here, but yeah, again, we aim at this very spot, right? We have enough speed in order to climb the wall. This time we have to jump though. Last time we didn't jump, right? But this time we have to jump because we don't have enough speed to just drive up the wall. We had it before because we did too many turbos and the turbo pad, so we had Sacred Fire could drive up the wall. This time we have to jump. And then we can readjust. All right, we jumped onto the wall. We see we are going to land on the wall. But now there's a little bit of a tricky part here because we are going to land behind the turbo pad, or like right onto the turbo pad. We already talked about this being a bad thing. How do we readjust? Let's watch. Because the part of the track that we want to land on with our U-turn right there, it's not loaded yet. So what we do here is we want to jump much further back here, losing a little bit of time, but still best backup that we can do. And now, you see, we are kind of on par with them. We are maybe a second, 1.5 seconds behind. Much better than messing up and then giving up and driving the track normally, of course. So learn this backup for your online races, because if you are like in this finicky spot, you can do the backup and still try to win the race by not messing up in the second round, right? Or second lap. So yeah, this is what you do to back up. And now let's see what it looks like with two of these shortcuts combined, or both of these shortcuts combined. So yeah, we go here, get a little bit Sacred Fire, get a little extra speed from the second speed boost, and then yeah, we jump in between these objects, land way behind the turbo pad, which is I think a good orientation point for you. And we do 2 more mini turbos, jump in the very same spot again. We do this, we do the U-turn, we land without the mask picking us up. And we land here, and the rest of the track goes as usual. We really haven't seen this yet, but there's nothing, like not too much to be concerned about. Just good driving you have to have here, but that's what you're learning anyway, right? You came here to learn the skips. So now, with both these skips combined, what was our time? 43:02. Now, think back at the beginning of the video when I showed you the 107 that was the usual lap. Then I think we had a 53 or something for the just second skip, and now we have a 43 lap. And this is what you should aim for in order to win your Oxide Station races against all these guys that are also already also starting Crash Team Racing at the moment. There's a lot of very good players coming out of retirement just to give it a go. So if you want to, don't finish last in these Oxide Station races, learn these 2 skips. It's not too complicated. Of course, it's not easy, but it's not too complicated once you get the hang of it. Once you have your orientation points, have your markers, see like this line, and where you got to go into the wall in between the lines and whatnot. So yeah. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see any other skips in the game explained, maybe I could help you with that as well. So see you on the potential next video. Bye-bye.